cannot enter.
왜 여기서부터 했어?
I should never have taken up my father's business. Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? How is
Business? I have no business.
I see.
It's no secret.
As a
What you mean,
아이씨. 이것도 어떻게 했었는지 까먹었다. 스토리를. 조금 해봐야 기억이 날 때. 잠시만요. 지금 바꿀 거야. 예. 왜 안 나오지? 뱀피르가 없는데 여긴? 이게 몇 년도 게임이야? PYR 뱀 PYR. 좀 색다른 게임 하고 싶긴 했는데. 맞아요. 그리고 가도 올려주고 올려주고 또 패드가 안 켰어. 좋네요.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago. blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever.
어떻게 썼는지 이게
Something
기억이
like
안
Where
난다.
did this happen?
스토리가. 큰일났네. 스토리가 기억이 안 나.
Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane. So the bitch really is a nurse then? Always thought she was just some crafty
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one.
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like,
That doesn't explain why she...
your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling, but I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor, Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick, though I usually get paid when I open my...
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London,
와,
and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals,
어?
but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work,
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
잠시만요. 아니, 이게 설정이 왜 이래? 아, 집중 안 되고.
you can put your own life in danger. That's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them...
And you think that would worry me?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane?
I don't know her, but I know her name is...
You seem to...
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually...
I have no interest in your work.
Short story. The war, exile, and England.
I always thought I was the...
You know, this money is not only for me.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of you.
흡혈귀.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son.
I am Dr. John...
A scientist.
What do you mean when you say...
All scientists are entangled in a work.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you?
I am. But... What do you mean when you say that...
All
Quite...
but you-
Well,
As a doctor,
what do you mean? Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
we must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More.
Fire is just the instinctive answer of a caveman facing some...
Your lack of faith is predictable.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher.
My son, if you think salvation is a free...
Joseph, a fool.
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church.
What do you mean when you say...
All scientists are in...
Quite a-
But you...
Well,
As a doctor,
what do you mean?
the big...
I have... Good evening, Mr. Whitaker.
His father.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane?
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence?
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients.
Have you any friends? And
No. But I have a disciple I see as my...
where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil...
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil.
I have heard enough for tonight.
Excuse me, sir.
Ah,
Are
you
you
would-
familiar with this
No,
part
no.
of town? Name's Clayton Darby.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you...
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon.
I heard you were investigating an underground medical dispensary in...
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really in a...
I'm a doctor, Mr.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr.
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out.
He never goes out.
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a...
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter.
He has no relatives?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
이것도
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel,
사이트 찾아볼게요.
talking to himself or
티를
declaring verses.
교회 뒤에서.
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my reader.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr.
I believe the situation can only improve.
What is a journalist doing?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public...
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell...
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influence?
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized.
I served in France. Our top
Sir, streets are a battlefield too. An invisible and untold war is...
Have you any idea?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs in...
I'm convinced there is more at work here.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
Goodbye, Mr. Darby.
교회 뒤로
Farewell.
가보자.
Good evening, miss. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a... Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. I know you understand what I'm saying. Very well. The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to... Enter. It's locked, all right.
look so pale, my lord. Would you
Good evening, Christina.
change your mind, Mr. Reed?
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves.
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or an...
대화가 너무 많아.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can. Good evening, Christina.
Change your mind, Mr. Reed?
Goodbye,
아니에요.
miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
저길 어떻게 가지?
I cannot enter.
The walls of your home will not protect you, for there is no protection against malevolence and trickery.
이거 싸우는 법도 까먹었다. 아니 이렇게 어려웠나 이게? 이렇게 안 어려웠던 것 같은데. 정신 차려. 아니 왜 이렇게 아 이거 어떻게 하는지 까먹었어. 큰일 났네. 몇 번 죽어야 되겠는데? 계속 죽네. 왜 이러냐. 타겟팅 어떻게 했었지? 자. 이게 원래 타겟팅이 안 됐나? 뭐야? 안돼 안돼 안돼. 아 잠이 확 깨네. 짜증나서. 맞아 피 터트리는 게 좀 셌고. 이제 알았어요. 아니. 한번 아니 이게 타겟팅이 있을 텐데. 미국사님이 어서 오세요. 이게 타겟팅이 잠깐만 설명 좀 읽고 갈게. 상대 고정이 있네. 어쩐지 이상하더라. 나 이렇게 게임 못해가지고 몇 판을 두는 거야 지금? 화이팅 화이팅. 아,
Good evening, sir. I'm
어서
Dr.
오세요.
I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town.
Really? Are you an artist of some...
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nith.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be...
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu. Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of what?
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here? But are you not afraid?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish.
If you say so. But as a physician in a tough...
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has...
What are your thoughts on...
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet...
Peaceful. That's quite an unusual...
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame...
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come.
I understand your need for
I
solitude.
don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to...
Well, you, for a start, my...
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enrich...
I fear you are a hope...
Guilty as charged.
Are you not curious?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. What?
Tell me, Mr. Nethercote, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but...
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles, and the added hunger under the
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each...
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh.
Do you not think...
On the contrary, sir,
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much, and that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know.
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? whom she may know.
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me.
I'll leave you alone.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
You are blinded by your false faith.
I'm cheap and I'm clean.
You pay for peace of mind. Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge.
I have to admit your words have conviction.
It's locked, all right.
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must...
We've not been formally introduced.
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family.
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy.
Are you not worried?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever, too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe.
So Dorothy's real name is...
Like myself and many people in this area. Dorothy.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
But it's not the country I fought for. My homeland is not...
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you?
Really? Then perhaps you have...
Do you have any
Who knows? I have abandoned my...
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you
Oh,
must
don't
know,
do
my
that.
own father disappeared many years ago, and
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this.
this war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old dyke.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
여기로 들어갔구나. 아닌데?
Control yourself. Calm. Calm.
I'm thirsty. Give me a drink.
I need help.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz Van Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Don't question me, nurse. I need a drain. Now.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. Yes. I have this nurse. Allow me to finish the procedure alone. I need the room.
I'd prefer to stay and see this through. This is my patient, Doctor. I have needle and thread for stitching the wound.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor!
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor. We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
Your heart might be in the right place, but you can't carry on with this blackmail. For God's sake, Dorothy, it's extortion. It's a serious crime.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied. But what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
It's locked, all right. It's locked.
It's one of them! Fuck it! Snap it, Leech!
Good evening, my dear colleague.
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough. Perhaps we'll talk again. Good evening, Benjamin.
I'm afraid...
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now. Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm a Harry. Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
So, may I ask...
I'm not bothered.
안 되겠다, 안 되겠다, 이거.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough, like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
떡볶이. 방금 졸았어.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
You have a roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Even my dreams are soaked with
근데 여기 왜 들어왔어? 병원 가야 되는 거 아니?
glue.